I couldn't get Facebook. So hi everybody, I'm sorry we are late. I'm hoping everyone got this. Is a new stream that I had to connect. We've had some problems. As I said in my weekly video, there was a conjunction with Mars and Pluto in 0 degrees Aquarius. So that is affecting technology, as well as making people frustrated. I feel like today little things were happening that were going to just wanting to tick me off, and I kept on trying to just keep my cool. But I'm here with Janita. How are you, Janita?
Hi, I'm really good. I have Mars square Pluto natally, so I'm sailing through today. Although all the technological problems have been yours, I'm very grateful for you hosting this one and not me. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be able to say with such glee that, oh, I'm just sailing through this one.
We're on holidays.
I am.
I'm not. So I've had like problems getting parking this morning. We're just running late. I had people cancelling. It's just been like hectic. But everyone, as you come on live, just put any questions or anything you want us to discuss, put it in the comment section there, and we will answer it the best we can. We were trying to go on Facebook as well, but it just wasn't going to happen. And we just kept on trying, and finally we just got something to work. And also it's been storming. It's been big storms here as well, so it's also affected our internet quality as well. So I hope everybody is doing well. But what else we got coming up with the trend? Oh, next week we're going to have Venus conjunct Pluto next week, or in a few days' time. It's getting close. So we've got, when is that going to happen? Let's have a look. That's going to be, I reckon, next week. Let me have a look. That will be, if I go, I'll put my birthday in, why not? No, wrong keyboard. It's probably going to be my birthday. Oh, it's before my birthday. So actually it should be on the weekend.
Oh. Venus conjunct.
It's going to, but next week, Venus will conjunct Mars, which could be a good, could be a good or bad. So if I go,
well, I think that that would mean that although some relationships will have fire in their belly, I think that the outcomes will be relatively good anyway. Sometimes we need to rip through things with a bit of fire to get things, moving again, make space for new growth. So I think anytime Venus is sitting with Pluto or even Mars, I think it's got to be a good thing. Depends on how you spin it, I suppose. But I'm going to choose to say that it's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, it's the 17th. So I just had a look. So the 17th is when Venus will meet up with Pluto. So that's on Saturday. That's here in Sydney. So for America and Europe, that's going to be your Friday. And then next week, it will then meet up with Mars, which I think can be good or bad. I think I've been saying that for people, and hello, we got here. So I know your name is different to your YouTube name, and I feel like it's, and I'm really bad with names, and I've forgotten. I think it's like Richard or something. Maybe it's not Richard, but I know it's a different name. But we have someone that's there. So hello, hope you are well. And I always find it hard to pronounce the YouTube name, and then you always correct me. And I know it's something I can find out. But hello, I can see you. Hello there. But yeah, it's hectic. I mean, with the Mars, with Pluto, I felt that this week, even since Monday. I've just been feeling like especially yesterday, I was so frustrated yesterday. I got so annoyed yesterday. It's just been.
I have to giggle because I mean I was born with it square, Mars square Pluto. So, it's like having a stampede of horses. So you can sort of ferry them in one gate and out the other, but you really have no control over the stampede itself. So when people say, oh, that Mars square Pluto or Mars and Pluto energy together, it's just like, oh, I think, walk in the park.
So Roland's here. Roland, I found out. I remember your name's Roland. So I got Roland who's here joining us. So hi, Roland, in the chat. Hope you're having a good day. So I know you're in Berlin, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, no, I said like Monday, and I know because I do astrology and because I do my weekly videos, I sort of aware of what's coming up, and then I sort of just sort of try and sit back, and I'm usually pretty calm. Like I got a parking ticket yesterday, and I was like, okay, well, seeing four, so I knew something bad was going to happen. And then I couldn't get a parking spot yesterday afternoon. Well, I did end up getting one, but it was fine. But yeah, and also too, we also have Chiron conjuncting node happening at the same time as this. That's why in my weekly video I was like, we've got, because today we had my weekly video. Oh yeah, the 14th today's chart. So I knew we had some tries with Venus, with Uranus, and then sextiles with Neptune. So that is positive, unexpected things to come up, and also we've got sextiles with Mercury, with the node and Chiron as well. But I knew that the conjunction would overshadow this, as well as we've got the Chiron and the node close together. So no, conjuncted. They're conjunct as well.
Cool. So that could feel like sensitivities around how people are delivering their communication, how you're taking it on. It could be trigger moments. It could be, it doesn't really matter how far along you are in your wounds and healings. I think, there's always that extra layer. Just when you think you're at the end of the mend, and you think, oh my God, what else could there possibly be? Something else comes along. So all of that sort of, that energy that's floating around, definitely going to be along the lines of, what else is there for me to do? So instead of saying, why me, perhaps, if you're finding yourself stuck in that energy or affected and aspected by that energy, say, what else can I do? What am I missing here? Do I need to, move on and sit with that a little bit more? Because sometimes I know in my own childhood trauma journeys, stuff comes up, and I always ask my spirit team, do I need to sit with this? Or are you just bringing it to my awareness and I don't need to do any work around this? So I think when Chiron and Mercury are playing together in the same
Chiron and the node. It's the node.
Oh, the nodes, they're moving forward. So that's still how you deal with it moving forward. Yeah. So whenever that comes up, it's always, how we're coping with that, our reaction to it, how it's going to sit well with us, and what we're doing to move forward from that.
Yeah. Not only that, too, today as well, because it's meant to be Valentine's Day, it's meant to be a day of love, but then we've also got a square with Venus to the moon too. So
okay.
Yeah. So we've got Claire joining us as well. Hi Claire, if you've got any questions, everyone, put it down. If you've got anything to ask us, put it down. Janita's I guess I'm kind of basic astrology, but I learn as I go along, and I've been self-taught. Janita was taught by someone who's like very in depth, so she's very more in depth about things. She's like more deeper than I am.
I'm a nerd, and I get anal retentive.
And I need things to be very simple. But as soon as it gets too complicated, I drift. So I always have to think of myself my own simple way, my Aquarian way, to be able to get my head around things. And then I also then look at the energies and sort of see how I sort of feel in the day as well. So that's how I sort of follow things and learn and kind of learn. And just sort of, also I'm psychic, so I'll ask my guides and sort of tune into it too. But yeah, I just felt like people were holding back a bit, or like that victim mode, and why isn't my plan working out? Even that's where I've sort of been this week a lot, where why isn't things working out? Why can't I move forward? And I get getting very stressed about it too.
Yeah.
Because we're meant to have these things are meant to happen. You know, I had a client today actually. This is a good question. I had a client to come and see me today. Her partner's not well. And she was like, you know, am I going to be okay when, you know, eventually he'll pass on? Will I be okay? And I was like, I think that's a funny question. I'm thinking, and, you know, will he be okay? And I said, well, he's always going to be okay. He's going to transition. I'm like, and you're going to be okay because she was a Capricorn. So I'm like, you're a Capricorn. You just continue of moving forward. And that's what you're going to do. And I said, you're going to feel like this man's like loving energy around you and it's going to bring you comfort. It's obviously not the same, but just reassuring her that everything is going to be okay. But I just thought that was such an interesting question. It was like, you know, am I going to be okay when this person does go? When they're not, you know, usually it's the other way around. You want to know your loved one's okay. But I guess that's also part of her wound and part of her journey and what she's going through with these transits that are coming up. You know, like I said in my weekly video, that February was going to be big as well as April was going to be big as well. But I feel like, though, with April, with the conjunctions that we've got with Uranus, with Jupiter, I don't see that as being bad. The only thing that I feel like will be bad with that when Chiron meets up with Venus at the same time.
Yeah.
That's when
especially if you're at that 7-year or 7-year cycle in your relationships. Now, whether they're intimate relationships or whether they're friendships, around that 7-year mark, the season, which is Saturn is a full season, 28 years a cycle, they get tested. That's why we call the 7-year itch. So I think that's going to probably affect more people coming into that 7-year or 14-year, 21-year, that sort of thing in their relationships. Most definitely. Yeah. I think about April too. I'm thinking, oh, there's going to be some itchy people in April.
I mean, when the conjunction happens, it's going to be near my natal Chiron. So I'm going to get luck with a painful issue. I always say, to me, Chiron's the emotional pain or raw pain. I don't like Chiron. That's how I see it. That's how I feel it. So I always see Jupiter as luck and positive. So for me, I feel like I'm going to get some sort of like healing or luck with a painful issue or an issue that's going to give me a lot of stress.
I actually love Chiron because it's an opportunity for me to work on an extra layer of myself. How am I going to become a better person now that this layer has surfaced? How am I going to become a better partner for my partner? How am I going to become a better mum? So I flip it and think, okay, what am I learning from this experience and what am I going to do to make it better, a better version of myself as a result?
Yeah. I don't need that. I don't need that. It's fun. We all see things differently. You're the Libran, aren't you? The Libran. I always mix up your. I'm pretty sure you're a Libran. Yeah, got it right.
Yeah.
And I'm the Aquarian. So it's funny. Everyone sees the world differently, and even the planets, they see it differently as well. Like when I watch the Leo King, and he goes very deep, and sometimes I think you're a bit too much. And it sort of complains about people sort of moving away from his platform. But I'm like, it's because sometimes you're a bit too much. It has that Leo, the ego, and the way you're going on about things. As I try to not be that sort of poor me, but I just keep trying. To me, I remind myself of being that little engine that can. I keep going. But and I got things that, you know, pull me back, and I'm like, okay, well, I've just got to keep going. But that's also, I guess, my Capricorn moon as well. That does that. But then you're also learning your human design as well, which is something I want to learn, but timing is like out the window for me at the moment with trying to get timing and things done. But explain a little bit about the human design. And I know you, because I don't have my chart up now, but I have seen it, but I had no idea how to translate it.
It is, I am like an addict with this stuff. I looked at it a few years ago and I went, whatever. I was so deeply in love with astrology that I felt like I was cheating on astrology to go anywhere else for information. And then late last year, I'm in a different group and there was tracking around human design and I'm like, geez, I know this word. I know this. What is this? And I had another look at it. And there was just this moment. You know how sometimes you read something and you think, oh yeah, I kind of get it, but you don't really get it. And then you go back to it 6 months later or 6 years later, or whatever the cycle is for you, and your brain is in a different, more receptive state. And that's exactly what happened with me in the human design. And I cannot get enough of this. It is single-handedly one of the most fascinating modalities I've ever worked with. And I've been doing this work for 30 years, 31 years very soon. And it breaks things down to what type you are, what your strategy is, what your authority is. So things like you fall into groups of people. So you could be a manifesting generator or a generator or a reflector. And it's based on exactly like astrology, your time, your date, and your place of birth. And then you're sort of given this list of things, and it's like an instruction manual. And, we search our entire lives for what is our purpose? What is our, what are we designed to do here on Earth? And the bloody human design gives us this. So 3 months before we're physically born, we've set up our design. And then the day that we're physically born, we get our personality. So you've got 3 months before and the actual date of birth. The human design takes up and works out everything that is happening in the world 3 months before and the time of birth, our physical birth. And then you've given 64 gates. Now, the 64 gates are actually the I Ching, so the hexagrams. And it gives us this code, and the incarnation cross, which is one of the most simplistic things to calculate in the human design, actually tells us what our life purpose is. And it doesn't say your life purpose is a doctor. It tells you your life purpose is about healing. It's about humanitarian services. It's about understanding problem solving and things like that. And then you go away and work out a job that fits into all of that criteria. And I am absolutely hooked on it. Like, I can't get enough of the human design. I've done 2 full courses on it now. I eat, sleep, and live and breathe the human design. I'm looking at new things every single day. I did astrology for 10 years really deeply, probably 12 years now, and I'll probably be in human design for a lot longer than that to really fully understand everything. Like astrology, it has composites, it has synergy energy. It's just amazing. It's super amazing. I can't wait. I'm actually rolling it out at the Mind Body Spirit in Sydney, so do come along and get your human design and get a reading with Danielle as well, because it is the most fascinating. It sounds really complex, and it is, but you don't need to get right into it if you don't want to. Your strategy, your authority, and the most simplistic your profile, the most simplistic of information, and you've got like a whole library of encyclopedia on how to make your life a lot less frustrating and a lot more satisfying. So and it's really it's just it's an amazing body of work, so yeah.
We'll be there in Sydney. I've got Brisbane coming up next week. I'm doing it with Aileen. So, and then just looking at my calendar. So it'll be on the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th in Sydney. I'll be there. We can ask questions, so you can. So, Rosie, you can ask us questions. You could. Okay. So she has got a question here, and I think, Rosie, you must have been the person that had both us before, and I couldn't believe what was happening in here in Ireland. So she wants to know. I've also got here, hello to Aspa as well. So Rosie's got here. So you can have your take on this, Janita. So Rosie's got, so you can ask them questions. If you are Q, will Irish government collapse soon for an election? I think Rosie, I think it was you the other live that I was doing, where you asked about they're doing a referendum in there about taking the word mother out of their constitution. I got to loudly know about it. Yeah, that was when I read her comment, that was my face, because I was like, am I reading that correctly? And is that correct? And then when she put more description down in the comment section, and it was like, oh yeah. So they're trying to basically take the female out of their constitution. Like, it's weird because even we don't. Well, I haven't read our constitution, but I'm assuming mother is not. I don't know if that's in it or not. But
so they're trying to change it to birth person or
yeah, something. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I have a feeling I haven't really looked into the Irish, what's happening over there in Ireland, but yeah. So, do you think that it will collapse? Look, a lot of this year we are probably going to see a lot of governments go haywire or collapse just towards more the end of the year when we have Pluto. I think Pluto September. It's going to retrograde back into Capricorn for like a month or 2 months or something, very small. And by November, it's back into Aquarius. So I think that's when things are more going to collapse in governments and financial things. I know other astrologers are predicting like November, December, banks crashing and stuff. Because right now they're still giving me the thing of everything's okay.
I agree.
What?
I think the little hiatus of Pluto jumping back into Capricorn for a little while, it's going to gain momentum. It's going to highlight some things. There'll be some whispers about shit that's going to hit the fan. But I think from September, October, November, that's when it's really going to, I would even say middle of October through the middle of November, that 4-week period there. Whether the media can try to put their spin on it and keep it under wraps of what's going on, but I think globally there's going to be changes, and that'll take us right through to 2027 when the whole energy shifts entirely.
What I will say when I'm connecting to the energy of the Irish government, I'm just sort of like trying to tune into it now. And I get like there's a scare, like there's scared. It's like, and it's like they're freaking out over the little tiniest thing there. It's like a big freak out. Like I think it's not going to be collapse. I think it's gonna stay. I want to say there's still leadership something there, but it's like there's a big freak out happening, and it's like nobody knows what to do. Look, I really feel like there's a big change where everything like upside down. I feel like there's an upside down that's happening here. So the person who's the most calmest is going to come out top. So whoever's the calmest politician there is going to come out on top. So I don't know. I haven't looked into your politics. I don't really know what's going on. What do you see? Anything, Janita?
Look, I think it's going to fall on its face, but not before the whole panic station happens first. My gut feeling is no, that it's not going to, but it does need a shake up. I think there's some stuff going on that they just, I mean, it's politicians. There's always a level of questionability when you're talking about politicians, but I kind of feel like it's going to be a bit of a, the big goldfish in a pond and he's just swimming around thinking that he's in charge and the boss, and all of a sudden the bigger fish comes in and just says, hang on a minute, what are you doing? Kind of feel like that will be the situation with this. I'm not seeing a collapse. I'm seeing a structural change, and almost like sweeping the floor clean. They're getting rid of a lot of the older stuff. I don't mean that they're going to modernize a lot, but when they're sweeping the floor clean, it's an old broom that they're using. So they're getting rid of all the crap that doesn't need to be there anymore.
I feel like too, there's a sense of someone's doing it for show. So it's a sense that there's a show going on here.
Yeah.
So someone's doing it all for show. It's hard because I like to understand everything, and I don't know their government and I don't know who's in charge. Usually when I'm doing videos, I have like their photo in front of me, and I'm like, yeah, and I don't. But from what I gather, I just feel like there's some big changes coming up. There could be a change in your leadership, but there's a big show going on behind the scenes. And I feel like it's all kind of planned on that. But I kind of hope it helps you, Rosie. We've got also Claire. She wants to know about, she's beginning in astrology. Like to know more. Do you have any suggestions on a starting point? The book that I found the best for myself is the Bible. I don't have it with me. I looked at the shop. It's called the Astrology Bible by Judy Bloom, but that's a kid's author. Judy someone. But if you just look up the astrology Bible and just start putting in Judy, I think it will come up. I think she does. There's also like a crystal Bible, and there's other ones too. That's okay, Rosie. So that's I found that one because as I said, for me, I need it to be very simple and easy. And the way that my friend taught me, because she was self-taught, was just very easy. So we just look at simple words for the meaning of planets. Like for us, Neptune is dissolve, and people, when I've researched it, they say rose-colored glasses, and they try and make Neptune sound very nice and dreamy. But in my trend, when I've studied it and I've noticed transits, it takes away, it dissolves things. So, I mean, I have noticed, like with my sister, with people, she has, because she's got natal Neptune in her 7th house, she has rose-colored glasses with people, but ultimately I know that those people are going to go out of her life, because I know it, for me, it dissolves when it goes over your. I had a client today, and I said to her, either recently or last couple of years, big things have ended in your life because she had Neptune over her sun. So to me, that's a dissolving something, and it's always correct. Like when I had Neptune over my sun, I had 3 people pass away around me. I did feel a bit lost, but it also, because it was ruled by Pisces, and I do find it's a psychic planet. That's when my spiritual awakening sort of happened. I started to feel spirit and things like that happened. So that's how I keep things very simple in words, like Mars is strength and anger, or frustration. Jupiter to me is luck, and you just elaborate as you learn more. That's how I do it. I'm not sure you are, Claire. I mean, I do want to teach. You got to find the right teacher as well, because I did do a class a few years ago, and I'm glad it sat in my 9th house. What do I expect? I hated the class. The teacher didn't get along with her. Got to the point where she told me to stop using my psychic abilities, and I wasn't. I was simply reading the chart how I know, not how she was doing, because she was saying we can't predict things. I'm like, bull crap, I can. I've done it before using astrology. But yeah, so that's how I found. If you're interested in doing, I can do online classes. If you want me to start, people want interest, let me know and we can start that up. Janita, how about you? I know you're taught. Hi, Terry. You're taught by someone that's like very in depth.
Yeah. So I was taught by Peter Whitewood, who was the president of the Australian Astrological Society. He, oh my goodness, that man's forgotten more than I will ever download into my brain about astrology. Absolute powerhouse of information. For me personally, I'm really detail oriented. If you're learning about astrology and you've got a little bit of an idea, definitely the Bible, the astrology Bible is the way to go, because it is, you can go down a plethora of rabbit holes with astrology, and my husband would tell you that sometimes I would go missing for 5 hours and all I was doing was researching a house. So the more simplistic you start, and then you can decide whether you wanted to go into forensics, analytical, predictive, Eastern, Western, how you want to do it, Vedic. You can, and then rectifications, there's so much involved in astrology. So stick to the basics, understand the fundamentals, and then start looking at what else do I want to learn from this. You certainly don't need to know absolutely everything, but I will let you know that if you look at placements in isolations, you will struggle, because a natal chart or a progressed chart is a story. It's a whole book about the person. And if you look at their sun sign only and say, I hate all Libras because Libras do this, you're going to be really disappointed when you find out the harmonics. Everybody's got Libran energy in one way or another. It's whether it's a strong Libran energy or whether it is a soft one. So really look at the whole story. Don't do it in isolation, because it will become very difficult for you to understand how to read an astrology chart if you're looking at things just in isolation.
My friends used to say read the whole chart. But I mean, for me, I did actually used to I would look at the house, the planet, but then as I got more confident, it would more add into it. like now if someone comes and sees me about relationships, I look at like the 5th house, 7th house, and like Venus, 11th house, or with Mars if they're female, whatever. But that's just evolving over time. But to start, I did just try and look, because I was just starting and learning. But exactly, you got to read the whole chart to do it. But it's up to you. The Leo King, if you follow him, I was actually lucky. So one day he had this major big sale. It was like $100 American for all his classes. So for, it was like 120, 150, I think, Australian for me. I got them permanently, but I've only done I started back, even though I knew the basics. I start from the beginning, but I mean, I did the first chapter. I just started the second one, but I've never gone back to it because I just haven't had the time. But it's something that I want to do. So also, I know he does online classes, pre-recorded, but try that. With Rosie here, she's got another question, and she also wants to know how to book a reading. Rosie, my email, unfortunately, my website, I don't have that hooked up for, and I've got to revamp my website. I'm working on it. It's one of my list of things to do, because it's going to cost me extra if I have that function on there. So you can book a reading through Facebook, or just email me, or message me through Facebook. If you want to get me, because email I check more at night, or more at night time. Check my emails and I reply then, late at night, come a night owl. If you want to get me where I'm going to reply quicker, use Facebook, my page, and you can reply as soon as I can, Rosie. But she's also got questions. Thank you to you both, very helpful. That's no worries. But Rosie's always asking here. One more question, Danica. I'm selling her house. I'm selling my house. Can you put some cards out when around the house to be sold? Oh, I think because she was selling, I think last time, I kind of remember it's coming back to me about you're moving because of your child. I think it was the same thing. Have a look. Selling a house. I feel like October, something about October. I'm happy in October, and I can see the removalist truck, but I feel like that's when you're arriving in October to a new place. So I feel like you're going to be selling it before October. Because I feel like we're selling, you're buying. It's like you're selling to buy somewhere else. It's like what I kind of get. Look, I feel bites in July. So when will actually be sold? I want to say it's going to be fast. Okay. Do you get anything, Janita? That's her house going to be sold.
Probably needs to start packing boxes now, if not already, because I think once it starts gaining momentum, the turnaround is going to be quite quick, and it'll catch you unaware. You're also trying to manifest what you want as well. They are showing me that there's a really a white house. Now, when I say white house, I don't necessarily mean it'll be white on the outside, but when you walk through the door, it could be white kitchen tops or white tiles or something. It looks really clean and nice, and it's something that's different from your current house. And when you're walking, you're just going to go, oh, you know what, this is it. And that process of buying that property is actually going to be really, really quick for you. You won't have to be delayed in any way, shape or form.
She's got here. She's hoping to move in July because she already has that house to move into. She went here in October, so I don't know what October is because I keep on getting October, and I can see the removalist truck, so I don't know what October is about. But she's got a house to move into July, but I do feel like for you it's going to be quite fast.
Yeah, there's a celebration coming up for her in October because there's lots of people around her celebrating. Like I'm going to say anniversary, but it's not necessarily a wedding anniversary, but it's a celebration of a situation that's happening for her.
You're going to get there, Rosie. Don't worry too much. There could be an 8 week or 8 weeks. I get it 8 days, 8. I think about 8. So I do feel like you're going to be quite happy about it and this celebration too. So you're worried, but don't worry. I feel like you're worried, but don't worry too much. That's what I say. I can see her like being nervous. I was like, you're
worried, but control the worry.
can see her being like nervous and that, but so like you don't, but just don't. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Trust the process. Yeah.
We got Terry here as well. Put a comment down. Okay, Happy New Year of the Dragon. I don't really follow Chinese New Year because I struggle, even like with numerology, I struggle with the whole year being an energy because I feel like the astrology is so much better in terms of what's going to happen the year because it's like a clock of the planets. But okay, You're the Dragon. May I ask you, do you all see a nice gentleman in my future for romance? It's been dry like the sand desert, but I'm still hopeful. Fingers crossed. There's always love going to blossom for you. To Terry. But I feel like next year, 2025, for you, I feel hopeful, but I feel next 2025, maybe even July 2025. I don't want to say look online. I don't want to say look online, but see looking online. But I don't want to say look, don't look. But again, don't look online. But I feel like there's like a tempted or to look. I feel like you are meeting this person face to face. I feel like it's a social gathering of when you will meet them. But I feel like it's more next year than this year of when it would happen for you. I feel like this is something that you can't control. It's just something that's going to fall in place.
Yeah. He's got big mitts, big hands, whether he's a tradie, he's a chippy, he's a bricklayer, he does something with his hands and you will notice his hands. But I agree, you'll meet in a very organic manner. I kind of like him. He's a bit of a he's cheeky. He's got a very cheeky sense of humor about him. He chuckles like Muttley. If you're in our age group, you will know Muttley and the chuckles that Muttley used to do. Very nice man, very caring, very different from your previous relationships in every way, shape or form, and you can put yourself down for a big tick for the self-development that you've been working on yourself for as well. It wasn't easy for you to get through that.
Yeah, so you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you'll be happy. Yeah. So anyone that comes on, a question. So she's got yes. Yes, I don't think any apps. Yeah, she loves our sense of humor, which is good. And Ruth has got happy Valentine's Day to you, Ruth. It's not something that I really. Well, I'm single, so I don't really celebrate it. But happy Valentine's to you. Yeah, I actually had a plan today, and I couldn't sing online, but I was like, but I don't know. But then I was like the bee, and I knew there's an app called like a bee app, Bumblebee or something it's called. And then but she said, oh, her friends put her on it, and I was like, oh, that's why I'm seeing it, because I didn't think she's gonna meet someone online, but kept getting online and seeing this bee. But yeah, okay. So we also got here. This is Roland. What activities can I offer myself to people in the months and years to come, and what activities could my wife and I offer together? What do you mean activities? I don't understand. What do you mean activities? Because I don't understand. What activities do you mean that you can offer? Oh, you mean like Reiki? Like healing? I just got Reiki. You can just write Roland what you mean. Just clarify for us, please. So I'm not sure. And then we've got Daylene Jones. It's got, am I ever going to find love? Yes, you're going to find love again. So while Roland comes back to us, we've got here Daylene, you're going to find love again. You will find love again. I feel like I've got 2 more relationships to come in for you. Just, I feel like, don't be greedy. Like, don't want a lot. Like, just take it as it comes. He got Roland back. Enough to, okay. Enough to earn my living. Okay. So you want to do a business, like business. But I do get a sense of spiritual business. Do you want to do spirit? I feel like I went to a spiritual business here. Are you getting anything for Roland here of what he could do?
In terms of business?
Yeah. I feel like this is a spiritual business. What he wants to do is what I feel.
How old is he now?
I don't know. Roland, how old are you? You can find out how old you are. Look, I also feel like Roland Reiki. I keep getting Reiki. So I feel like you need to go, or I shouldn't say you need to. I'm going to say I feel like maybe look into doing some sort of healing, like Reiki healing. Perhaps you can do that with crystals, people. But I feel like this would be more of a side business or a side thing. I feel like it's going to take you quite a long time to make this your main thing off where you're going to live off. I feel like you don't want to be on someone else's payroll anymore, but I feel like you're still there for some time. We all want to get to that point. Me too. So he's 68 years old.
He's 68.
Yeah.
All right. The previous work that he'd been doing, and he'd had a few different changes in industry, career, environments. It's not cutting the mustard anymore. He's done with that. Coming closer to 72 years of age, he really wants to be playing more in I get very bossy, so you just do whatever you want to do, and I'll just tell you what comes through. Your intuitive ability and your psychometry ability, which is the things that you touch, and your awareness of energy and transference of energy, is really coming really in strong at the moment. I think Reiki, anything that you do from a healing modality point of view, whether that's hands-on or whether it's using your hands to create things that are going to be able to heal other people, definitely that is the role that's coming in for you. You will have to dabble with other people's crap for a little bit longer. I know your tolerance levels are getting very thin. I can feel it. It's like, for God's sake. But for you, anything that is a touchy-feely modality, even if you're shaking hands before you talk to somebody about however that person's feeling, is that very soothing voice of yours. You have a very different frequency when you're talking to people. I think that now's the time. You had a little dabble in it when you were younger, around that 28, 29, 30 years of age. You had some really spiritual awareness and awakenings, and you had to park them because a few different reasons. You know what they are yourself, but now's the time for you. So it really is, time to kick butt and do your spiritual and intuitive talents.
So I hope that helps there, Roland. I was just getting like Reiki. I just feel like, I know he's in Belgium. I think it's Belgium where he lives.
He's got healer's hands. So he's got little
Reiki.
and they're really hot.
Reiki. So if you can find, there should be someone. I'm assuming there should be someone there. So when you do, basically, I'm Reiki in tune myself. So you find a Reiki master. They can in tune you, which involves, it's like 3 Reikis. One's about self-healing. 2 is when you're a practitioner. That's what I am. Do it on other people. And 3 is a teacher. So you need to find a teacher. They will. It's like, from what I understand, they sort of put the symbols in you or inside you, and then you call upon those. So I always, when I do Reiki on myself and someone else, I always invite the Reiki masters, the healing angels and healing guides to come in and to assist me. And I do this. You draw the symbol and you start. I work with crystals as well. And but even before I was Reiki in tune, I was doing healing, but just calling in healing guides and healing angels, and that was still a form of healing. I was able to sort of heal my some blood issues with that. So look into that. It's something not really online. It's something I think you have to be in person. But I'm not a Reiki master, so maybe you can do online. But I don't know about that. I actually did know someone. I think she went to do online or some of it. Anyway. I'm sure you'll be able to find someone where you are. But Daylene, you'll find love again. It's just going to take some time. But I feel like it's something about being greedy or maybe wanting it now. You're not going to get it now. It's going to be when it's time. It's time. I feel like it's when you've let things go and things are under the bridge is when it's going to be time for you to there. But yeah. If anyone else has got any questions, they can put up, or want to ask us about astrology as well. Here we've got Roland. I did the first 2 Reiki levels. Oh, yeah, he's a Reiki in person. some years ago, around 30 years ago. Oh, many things. Oh, well, once you've got it, that's it. So I feel like work on that modality. Look, I think sometimes these things can be slow. Maybe just start going to fairs, psychic fairs, and have like either a little table or a chair that you can do that and offer that, and go from there. And then expand that. I feel like that's where you might get your other income coming in.
Yeah. Grab yourself a set of dowsing rods too, because I think that some of the confidence that you just need a little up with your confidence when it comes to spiritual stuff. And when you're doing things that are unseen and it's not like you have a doctorate hanging on your wall or an MBA on your wall. So sometimes that can leave us feeling like, are we really doing the right thing here? So for you, if you got some dowsing rods, you would certainly have a physical connection with them, and you'd be able to physically see the yes and no and the information that you're receiving that way, and that might help you with your confidence. But I personally wouldn't doubt anything that you're doing, because your energy is really lovely.
Yeah, so there you go, Roland. Oh, there you go. But yeah, it's going to be busy, and we're also, when we're at the MBS in Sydney, we're also not as far down as we were in October. We're up closer. So we're up. I think we must be where we were in May last time.
Oh, cool.
I think we're there, because the number is a lesser number. It's up. So I think it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a busy couple of weeks. That's coming up with that.
Yeah. So if you want to see either of us, whether it's astrology or human design, please come along with your time of birth as close to being accurate as possible, because when you have that information, obviously we need to know where and your date of birth, but everybody kind of knows that information, but the time is super important for an accurate read. So come prepared, and we'll be able to help you, especially with the human design. I can't give you any information unless you've got a time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
I can see a little bit with the time. I can see your personality with your time, and I can also see sun transits, maybe planets hitting planets. Yeah, just okay. I didn't know about the human design, but yeah, bring that in too. But also, if they also want to contact you, if they're not in Sydney, because I know a lot of my audience here. I have my YouTube. I have a lot of people from Perth. I also have people from America, England, a lot of people around the world on my YouTube. So just they can contact. What's your email address? Or either email or Instagram, or where would they contact you if they're not in Sydney?
My email address would be actually my website, probably the easiest. So that's www.insightsbyjonita.com, and Jonita is spelled Johnita.
Okay. Oh, Claire, we've got another question come up. Yeah. Claire's got, could I please get a general reading? Feeling a little lost and would love some guidance. As I spoke in the beginning, Claire, we do have that conjunction with Mars and Pluto. It's causing a lot of stress today. General reading. You're going to get by. Just thought you're going to get by. You're going to get through this. Like the later part of the year, I feel like it's going to be better for you than this beginning part. It's just like things aren't falling into place for you. It's like there's a piece missing out of your jigsaw puzzle. It's not fitting into place, but it's going to. I feel like later in the year. It's also, I feel like you kind of just slow down. But there's nothing stopping you. I feel like it's like I see you in a wheelchair. So I feel like it's time for you to slow down, but you're fighting against it, and you keep moving, you keep going. But I want to say you need to slow down a little bit. It's like worse wear. But I feel like the second half of this year is going to be better for you than this first half. There's also a lot of anxiety around you. I feel like, but you're adding to the anxiety. You just need to breathe it out. I feel like April's going to be interesting for you in April too. It even could be like a love, like a love or something coming in. I just see love, like a love or heart in April. Do some cards. What do you get, Janita?
I think that when you have been overwhelmed in the past, it's because your plate's been too full, and you kind of get yourself in these situations a few times, most years. I'm going to say every year because I'm a bit of a rat bag like that. It's because you do take on, you're getting better at it, but you do take on a lot and a lot and a lot and a lot, and then all of a sudden you're at the seafood buffet. You can't see your plate. You've got all this food left over and you're full. And people still expect you to, taking burdens off them and do it because that's what they expect you to do, and you can't continue to do that because it is affecting your ability to remember things, to cope. It's affecting your sleeping. It's affecting your hormones. Vitamin D is down for you as well at the moment, so you'll need to have some supplements with that. And it's just, learn to say bugger off. Do it yourself. You do take a lot on. You take on way too much, and people just expect it. And the more you take it, the more people will give it. So this year will be about you learning to say, stuff you, do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like there's a shift in energy too. So whether there's a birthday coming around or you've just had one, but it's a 3-month lag period where you're shifting your energy around.
I feel like there's a bit of boredom here as well with you. The card's looking bored, and there's a bit of an anxiety. But also there's waiting. So this card to me is about waiting. You're waiting for this, like, waiting in between period. I also see like beach, going to the beach. Where are you in the world, Claire? Where are you? Because I'm seeing a beach, but it's not like tropical beach, not like where I would go here in Sydney. Claire, can you put down where you're from? Because I feel like I'm in Europe or somewhere. Or rocks. Like instead of rocks into the sand. Where the beach is. You can put down where you're from. I want to say to you, it's going to be okay. But I just felt a sense of boredom here. But I felt there's a sense of travel or going away, but I want to be near water around the middle of the year. But I feel like April's going to be very good for you. It's like I wait to see. I wish I had like the face, like it came up on like Messenger or when you're messaging, it's got the dots. Here we go. She's in the Blue Mountains. She's in Sydney. But I just did go to the beach in Sydney recently for my birthday. Okay, Claire. So it's this sea like beach, but it was like a different, wasn't like Bondi or Cronulla. It was like a different, like a smaller beach. But I was also saying about July too. I just feel like we're going to be okay in April. But thanks, Claire. I hope that's okay for you. Oops. Okay, there we go. But yeah, maybe look. So I've been 53 minutes. It's on. So we've got a good audience here. But yeah, so I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting times at the MBS. So contact for Janita for her website. She's very good at what she does. And like I said, I want to get in human design. I just not got around to it. And I thought I could ring it. I put my details in and the chart came up. And then I thought I had like get a free, like I thought it was like a subscription. And then I did that. And then it told me I was a manifesting generator. And then, but nothing, I just couldn't work it out. I thought I could just ring it like astrology, just, get the few feelings of things. I thought because I knew that I could somehow read the chart.
Well, I happen to know you're a very good cook. So for the cost of a cupcake, I can help you with your human design. But I want a good cupcake, red velvet.
I always make good cupcakes.
Thank you.
I always do. Although I was just saying to my weekly video, I have not started my Easter show cake, and I don't think I'm going to get it done. I just don't think I'm going to get it done. So I might have to do it next year. Same. I want to do Alice in Wonderland. I've got it in my head. I know what I want to do. I'll have to do it next year because I haven't started it yet. I've got to get ready for Brisbane. And then, and then the Sydney MBS is when I've got the cake has to be in for judging. There's no way.
No, too quick.
Yeah, and I haven't even been able to look to see what, because it's fake, so it's a dummy cake. I haven't even been able to look to see what's around to put it together. But yeah, well, anyways, so we'll see. But anyway, thank you for Janita, and thank you for everyone joining us. If you want us to do more of these chats, please let us know, and we can organize to do more of them if you like them to do them. As I said, I am doing more lives because I just feel like this year is going to be a big hectic, and I want to support people. We had problems with getting on Facebook as well. So in the end, it was just, like I said, I'm persisting and persisting. That's what I'm like. I keep persisting. And I finally got it working, and I just got working on YouTube. So hopefully I can change the thumbnail as the thumbnail that I had before. And we'll upload it to the portal that we're going to upload it to. And yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. So thank you, Janita.
Thank you for having me. It's nice to talk to everybody.
That's okay. I love my YouTube audience. I love my YouTube audience. That I feel like YouTube's like a little community, and I feel like when you have a YouTube channel, I think because you've got a YouTube channel or you have one too, when you build that up, it's a community. It really is, and I love my YouTube audience. I'm very grateful for them, and it's something that I work on, and I love my YouTube audience. So, thank you guys, and thank you, Ruth, and I'll see everyone next time. Probably next. If I do next, yes, I could do next fortnight. That's when I'm back from Brisbane. But I might be doing one. I might sneak in one next week. Never knows. Never know. It might pop up. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. That's